Hello everybody and welcome back to Silverrun Forest for the next episode in our Let's Play series. So we are now into July and our poplars are all ready to be harvested. So that will be our first job for today. We also have the field of canola that's ready to be harvested as well. So we can look at getting that done. So first thing we need to do though is head to Eddie's and get a forage harvester and the header for the poplars. So we'll just check the used equipment, and I do know there is an FR series because I checked this last night. This is purely coincidental that this has just popped up right at the same time that we actually need a forage harvester. So I will just take advantage of this as it's in the sale. We'll go with North American. I don't think we need a light bar. Let's go with crawler track because it's not going to cost any extra. Engine setup. We might as well go with the 920 60th one as it also isn't going to increase the price any. Room colour will keep the same. License plate we don't need. We're going to buy that. Then we just need to get the header for it. She's under forage harvester headers and we want the Lizard Pop 6X. And we'll put this in New Holland Yellow if that's an option. There's no option for New Holland Yellow. Why is there no option for New Holland Yellow? So we'll buy that, keep it black. I also want to get under auger wagons the Lizard Auger Master with the semi-dolly trailer. So we'll buy that as well. It's 100,500, and we'll also get the dolly to go with that. So we can attach it to the back of the forage harvester, which should be under dollies. And I'm just going to keep this one. No, design colour. There we go. Just keep that metallic grey because I think it looks a bit better than the garish bright metallic colours. So there's our new forage harvester for harvesting the poplars. Hopefully we'll get a good amount off these. Okay, so we're over at the poplars. We'll start off at this end with the shortest rows first. And that's where I've got our trailer ready to load into. So what we need to do is get the cover and the pipe out on the auger wagon. The pipe out on the forage harvester. Get that started up, lower that down. And away we go. If I now set my enhanced vehicle control mod, turn that on. If I set it to 10 meters, should give us perfect centers for each row then. Although we do seem to be missing a slight little bit there. And maybe not quite in the middle. I might need to just reset that. Just so we are as close to the middle as we can get. Right, that seems a little bit better. So if I press reset. Reset that to 10 meters. And then reset that on. Right, now hopefully that should be a bit better. Right, there we go. So we'll lift that up. So yeah, when I did this, I wasn't anticipating using this setup completely. I was just going to use the forage harvester with a wagon following. And so yeah, turning is going to be a little bit more tricky with this setup. And I'm struggling to actually get that to turn around that tight of a turn. So I may have to come out into the road a little bit. This is one thing I didn't plan for, say, was this particular setup when doing this job. Right, let's try the EVA, see if that works out. That seems fine. Seems right down the middle of that one. So what I will do is every now and then we'll have to unload into that trailer. I'm not sure if we'll fit all of it in. Looking by how much we've got so far, we're not going to get a huge amount. I always think poplars don't yield as much as they should. And then the price of wood chips is really bad in the base game anyway. But fortunately on this map they're a lot better. So it is more worth doing wood chips compared to like standard maps. But yeah, all it's going to be a case now is just going up and down each row, or every other row, and getting all these done. So we're just coming up to 100% full. I don't think we could have planned that out. Literally, end of that row, 100% exactly filled. So we'll go and unload this into our trailer. So 60,000 litres, and we've only done 1, 2, is that 3, 4, 5 strips, and 2 of those aren't full strips. So that's not too bad. Yeah, actually, this may actually turn out to be a lot more profitable than I expected. I'll just have a quick look at the current price of wood chips. Yeah, it's really bad at the moment on this map, considering the highest price is 1,200 in January, and at the moment we are right down here. So we're pretty much at the lowest it could possibly be. So we will probably have to store the wood chips somewhere until we get later into the year before we do sell them. We're not going to get to a point where we get the best price for them, but I'm not going to be selling them at only 350 per 1,000 litres, when that's only, what, a quarter of the best price we could get. So yeah, we'll have to store them until possibly October, November time, and then sell them before we do finish up completely on here. So we'll have to try and find somewhere to store them, because if we've got 60,000 litres already, we're going to get a good couple of 100,000 litres at least in total from all the rows. So we're coming up to 100% full again, so just a little bit short, 98%. So our trailer is completely full as well, over that we've got parked up over there, so we will need to go and unload that, and then we can get this unloaded again, then continue. So far I think we've got around about 166,000 litres in total of wood chips, and we've still got a few rows to do, not many now, but there are still a few left. So we could possibly get at least another 50,000, so close to 200,000 in total. I'll just park that there and get that turned off for a minute. So I'm pretty sure the farm, barn and silo that we've built is also a multi-fruit silo, so we should be able to put our wood chips in there to store them until we get a better price for them. So we'll head back to the main farm and then try and unload them into there. If not, I will have to find somewhere else to put them. Alright, so we'll see if we can get these into our farm silo. I'm pretty sure it does take everything. But we'll soon find out. So yeah, there we go, overloading wood chips. So we'll be able to put the rest of what we get in here. That'll keep the trailer clear for anything else we may need it for. And then we can keep the wood chips stored until we actually get a better price, which, as I said, we're only in July at the moment. And I think most of our crops are going to be done by September, so yeah, I don't know how much we'll get for them, but if we can get close to 1,000, that'll be what, 108,000 that we've just put in there. So if we can get that again off the field, that'll just about cover the cost of buying the forage harvester. So we'll get the auger wagon unloaded and then we can finish off these last few rows. I think we should be able to fit everything now within this trailer on the auger wagon. Just have a look how many rows we've actually got left. So we've got 6 rows left to do. And then we'll get on with harvesting the canola. Last row to do, or last strip. And then that'll be the poplars all done. So far we've got 117,000 litres in the silo and in the other trailer, plus what we've got now, so coming up to close to 250,000 litres in total. So we're not going to quite make that, but we're not going to be far off. So selling at $1,000 per 1,000 litres, that's almost 250,000 off this area, and that's just off the poplars themselves, and they do regrow as well. So other than fertilising, there's nothing else you need to do with them. So it's potentially like £250,000 each year just from this one area of land. So well worth doing on this map at least. Right, so we'll go and get this into the silo and then I can get the last bit out of the auger. We'll get everything into the silo, then we can see exactly how much we've got in total. So we have the last 28,675 litres of wood chip off the field. So we'll get this into our silo and then we can see the exact amount we got from the poplars. We've also still got the wood chips from the old sawmill as well to sell, so we'll probably have close to 350,000 litres of wood chips in total. Okay, so that's all the wood chips in the silo. We've got 245,675 litres in total off that area, which isn't too bad. And so if you consider we was to sell that at the highest price of 1,200, that's going to be close to what, 270,000, more like 294,000. So just shy of $300,000 if we was to sell at the highest price we could possibly get. So off that one small area, that would certainly make a nice amount of money each year, and it didn't take too long to do either. Trying to think, we don't need this trailer at the moment, although it could do with a good clean out. So we'll just drop this one off here for a bit. We'll head back over to field 3. No, field 1. I always forget the fields are backwards on this. It would have made sense to do 1, 2 and 3. But no, they did 3, 2, 1. Yeah, so we go and get the canola harvested in field 1 as our combine's already over there. And I've already got the Mack truck with the grain trailers as well to do that. So that'll be our next job for July. So our next job will be the canolas. Just get the header on. Everything should be unfolded, ready from last time. There we go. We'll get that load down. We'll do the same. We'll put all the canola into the farm silo. And then for the last episode, we'll probably sell everything off. So we'll sell all the wood chips, any other crops we get as well. That we don't need. We'll also go around and sell any milk we've got from the cows. And probably some of the slurry manure, because we don't really gonna have any use for that, as we're not going to be working any of these fields again. And we don't have any productions, and I'm not going to be setting up any new productions now to utilise any of the slurry manure or anything like that. So we'll just sell everything off and then see what kind of final amount we get. But before we do that, there's still a few other jobs I want to try and get done as well. One of those is to cut down some of these trees we planted and replant part of them. As I said, I wanted to try and make it into a sustainable forestry area where we cut down maybe 1 or 2 rows and then replant them, and then every so many months you come back, cut down the next few rows, replant those, so you kind of stagger how they grow. So then by the time you get to the end of it, the first lot that you cut down and replanted should be fully grown, and then you just continually have a continuous supply of fully grown trees. We're not going to get to a point where we do all of that in like one cycle, but at least if we can try and get one section of it maybe divided up into 4 sections, you do one section every 3 months. So from each section you should get a nice amount of trees to keep your productions going, and then when you need to top those up, the next lot of trees will be fully grown and ready to go. So we're just coming up to 100% full for our first full combine load. So we'll get to that and then we'll go and grab the Mack with the trailers and get this unloaded. There we go, 100% full. So yeah, we'll get that unloaded and we'll finish off the rest of the field. I was just trying to decide what to actually do next once we've got the canola done, because we've still got the oats which could try and get done as well today. I don't know if I'll be able to get time to do that as well. It's not a massive field, but we've also got the straw I want to try and bale up from that. The other fields are not ready yet. Should be ready either next month or the month after. Let's have a quick check of the calendar when the harvest for sorghum is. Yeah, I think we didn't plant it until May, so I think it's not going to be till September. And the oats will need to be harvested next month. I would also like to try and get another cut of grass for some hay, just to top up the hay bales, because I don't think we've got enough for the sheep and the cows to see us through till we finish. So possibly next time we'll do the... Yeah, next time I think we'll do the oats, harvest the oats, bale the straw, and then get the grass cut for hay. So we'll get this one finished off first, see how much time we've got left. So we may start cutting down some of the trees just over there by the poplars now they finish growing. Before they do start growing back, I mean, now they've been harvested. So I get that switched off. So that's the first full combine load. I should get a good 60,000 litres off this field of canola. So yeah, we'll continue and get the rest of this all harvested up, and then we can have a go at cutting some of these trees down, making a start on getting some of those done. Okay, last strip of canola to harvest. We've got around about 40,000 litres in the trailers over there, so we're not going to make 60, but we're probably around about 55,000 litres in total, which isn't too bad. We're considering this area of field compared to how much we'll make off the wood chips from that area and only the strips. If we'd done strips of poplars on here as well, we'd be making a lot of money just from wood chips on this map with how much they sell for. You're probably better off just doing poplars and wood chips. You get some really nice big long strips going along here. Just turn this whole area into a poplar and a tree plantation. So that's the canola all done. So I don't even think we're going to make 55,000 litres. We'll get this unloaded. We'll get this over into the silo, so we'll sell it a bit later in the year when the price is a bit better for it. And then the next job, I'm going to make a start on cutting those trees, but we're going to use some new equipment to try out. There's still a few things I'd like to try on the Platinum expansion. So we'll give those a go, cutting down some of those trees. And then that'll just leave the oats and sorghum left to harvest. And I still do want to get an area planted up with the giant redwoods or the sequoias. So we'll put the tree growth manager on so we can get them to grow really quick as well. And that way we'll be able to see how they look fully grown. So yeah, only 47,000 litres. So yeah, I was way off in my 60,000 litre estimate. So yeah, that's not a particularly good turnout for this field. But anyway, we'll get these over into the silo, and then I'm going to get the low loader so we can use that to get some new equipment over to our tree plantation area. The canola's all been dropped off into the silo, and now we've got our landol hooked up. So we're going to try out the Hannibal. It's probably not the most suited area of land to try it on. That means it's completely flat. But I do want to try it. I have tried it briefly, and I will admit I wasn't a big fan of it. But we'll give it another go. So we go forestry. I'll just check used equipment just in case there is one in there. Nope. You never know. So forestry machines, and it's the most expensive thing we can buy. This is the Impex Hannibal T50. 750,000. It's something I did say I did want to try out, because it probably will be the only time I ever use it. So this is more suited to obviously hillside, as you can see from the picture. So it does have a full auto leveling function. It's also got a blade on the back, so you can push logs around. Yeah, I tried it briefly, and I'd say yeah, wasn't a fan of it on the hillsides because I found it tipped over way too easy. Well, we're slowly making our way over here. For some reason that's decided to slide right over to this side of the trailer, even though it's strapped down. So we are literally almost touching the ground on this one side. We can get this dropped off now. So we'll have a go with this, as I'm not holding much hope out for it. I don't know if it's really designed for cutting such big trees down, which I imagine you probably wouldn't with something like this, because it's not the biggest of machines. It does have quite a narrow footprint. But we'll give it another go. So we want 6 meter lengths. Yeah, I think if we work our way down the rows from the road, working our way down towards the end. So we'll get this switched on. I'll come face on with the tree so we can straighten up. Let's try and get this lined up properly. So this one completely grabs the tree a bit further up as well, which is where I found the problem is if you try and lie this down now, it can tip over, and there's no adjustment as well, so you can only lie the tree down directly away from the tree harvester. So it does mean you can sort of stack them together like a buncher, but yeah, it's not easy to use, and it is a bit tippy, as you can see, especially with the fully grown trees. Right, so that's the first tree. I'll say, yeah, I'm not a big fan of this, to be honest. I think using the Volvo is a lot easier, a lot more straightforward as well. I'm presuming in real life there's obviously so much more benefits to using this over certain other tree harvesters, but in game I just don't think it kind of works very well for me. So well, I did want to try it on this series, as it is probably the only time I will use it, and there's a new vehicle in the Platinum expansion as well, so it is nice to actually try and give everything a go from it. If we try and drop this one and next to this, so you can sort of bunch them together, but not very well. I just need to remember now how to release the tree, which is... I think I accidentally changed the cut length to 8 meters without realising. There we go. Open grab. Get that pulled over a little bit more. Yeah, I think we're far better off, far quicker with just using the Volvo going down than using this. It is a lot slower, a lot more awkward to use as well. And you still get that horrible thing where the head rotates when you don't want it to and messes up your pile. Well, there you go, there's 2 trees. So really, I wouldn't probably use this, to be honest. I'm not a massive fan of it. But we've got it now. We'll keep going and see how we get on. Get a few more trees cut down. Okay, so using the impacts, I've just accidentally found out you can widen the tracks on this, which kind of makes sense. So you have to change the control group. You can then raise and lower the blade, and if you do LB plus left and right on the right analog stick, you can actually widen the tracks, which obviously would make it far more stable, and you're like widening out the surface area of it. So that's something I just accidentally found out when I was trying to use the blade. That would make it a little bit more stable, especially on hillsides as well. And what I've been trying to do is just release, rather than trying to lower the tree down, just release the tree facing the kind of correct way so it drops, and then you can just drag it to the pile, which kind of works well, but sometimes it doesn't quite drop the way you want it to. So at the moment I'm just trying to neaten these piles up with the blade. Just narrow that back in a bit because the tracks are sticking out a bit beyond the blade. That way it should make it a little bit easier to pick up a decent grab ball. But yeah, I think the more I've used it, kind of the better you get at using it, the find out its quirks. So it's definitely one I think I probably would use a little bit more, especially now I found out you can widen the tracks, which would make it a lot more useful. So see if we can just push those ones in a bit. We raise that blade up a bit. I could try and neaten this pile up. It's not perfect, but it's all be close enough for what we need. Now I was going to do 6 meters and then get some containers and just load them straight into containers, but that kind of went out the way when I accidentally switched it to 8 meters. But we'll leave the tree cut in there for a bit. I keep forgetting you have to change the actual control group to operate the different aspects of that. So we've got a nice big stack of trees here, all 8 meters. We have cut down quite a few, and there's a few small offcuts. Now we'll just throw to one side. So what we're going to do is we're going to go and buy the Volvo high lift, which is it under forestry? Yep. So this is another one I've wanted to try out from the Platinum expansion. So the L200H high lift. I'm going to keep everything as standard, but we'll buy that. I'll go and grab that, and I'll go and get the forestry trailer as well, so we can have a go at using the high lift to load these up. And then we'll get these sold. Okay, so we've got the forestry trailer, and we've got our new Volvo high lift over here. So we'll go and drop this somewhere where we can actually load it. And then we'll have a go using the high lift to load this one. What probably will do as well before we do finish up is have a go at using the high lift to load the train with loose logs. So we may do that for the next episode or the one after that, which will be the last one. If we park this kind of there, we should be able to just drop these on. I don't know how well this is going to work because I've not used it. So this is the one piece of equipment I haven't actually tried at all yet from the Platinum expansion. Oh, there we go. Just trying to work out the controls. There's quite a bit of movement on this. We try and get it somewhere in the middle and straight as we can. So we need to lower it with that one a bit, or take it away from the wheel loader, and we can lower it. Try and drag that back a little bit. Yes, just getting used to the actual controls on this, because there's quite a big difference to a normal wheel loader. Well, that's not the best grab for there. Maybe if we drop that one back down, see if we can pick that one up again. Yeah, I'll keep forgetting the actual controls on this. Right. Oh, yeah, the controls seem a little bit backwards to me. I keep pressing the wrong direction. Let's try this again. That's a bit better. Yeah, this one's going to take a little bit getting used to. Let's see if we can drop these on the back. Yeah, not quite in the right place there. So just bring that over slightly so we can actually drop the grab down. Yeah, again, as with the Hannibal, I think it's one of those, just take a little bit of time to get used to the actual controls. The up and down to me just seems the wrong way around. I'll keep going to bring it up and it goes down, and opposite. Oh, there we go. Yeah, I think the wheel loader with the other grab is a lot easier to use for loading. I think this is one of those things that probably better to use just to grab them off the trailer. Again, I wanted to give it a try. So I'll finish trying to get these loaded up, and then also we'll just take these to sell at the South Sawmill. Okay, so I've managed to get some logs on there. Not the prettiest load. I say 8 meters didn't work out the best. 6 would have been better, because I could have just dropped each one's in between each set of staves on there. And I will be honest, I really did not enjoy using that high lift at all. For me, it's one of those things I'd happily never use it again. I think it'll work better picking loads up directly off a trailer, so they're already in there and you can get underneath properly. I didn't find it picked up off the ground very well, which obviously it's not really suited for doing that. But I did want to give it a try, so possibly next time if we get a better stack of 6 meters on the trailer, we'll use the high lift to take them off this trailer, then load them onto a train. But yeah, I really didn't enjoy using it. I found it a bit awkward to use. The controls just seem completely backwards to me. But it's another one of those things, if you take the time to get used to using it, you know, it becomes second nature and it gets a lot easier to actually use. So we'll get this load sold. So 86,362 for that load of 8 meter logs. Takes us back up to 494,000. So we have spent quite a bit today. Two new pieces of equipment that I don't know if I'd get much use out of again. The Impex, I don't know. I think I'd happily try this again and give it more use out of it. And it's one of those, the more you use it, the more you probably get used to it and enjoy it. But as for the high lift, yeah, I'm really not a fan of this at the moment. Really did not like using that at all. So we'll try it again before we finish up, but I don't know how much more I'll use it within FS after this. So this might be the only time it ever gets used by me, but you never know. So we'll end this episode there because we have gone quite a long while. We did manage to get all the poplars done, canola harvested, and we've started cutting down some of the trees from here. So we may finish off these 2 rows and then get these replanted. And then say what it would be is every month, then you could come along, maybe cut 2 rows down, replant them, put the next 2 rows, replant them, and then they're always staggered. So once they start fully growing, then every month you should have a new set of fully grown trees, or you could do it in, as I said earlier in the video, quarters. So cut 1 quarter of them, replant it, then 3 months later cut the next quarter, replant that, then the next 3 months recut that, and then when you come to the next low, you've got like a fully grown quarter of trees. So there's quite a few different ways you could do it. It's just deciding what works best for you and on the how quick the trees grow and things. But yeah, you can get a sustainable supply of fully grown trees all in one area, so you can get set up with your equipment all in one place, so you never have to go around the map looking for wood. Everything's all in one place. So yeah, we'll leave it there. I hope you have enjoyed it. If you have, then please don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Really do appreciate that. If you're not yet subscribed, then please do consider subscribing. We've got more Farm Simulator 22 content coming up. And a big thank you again for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. Thank you again. Goodbye.